Hi, Mr. Muhammed is here. I hope my videos can help you a bit. Check out my other videos. I hope they're helpful. Make sure you are taking notes. Tell your friends about these tutorials. Okay, to find the domain for question 12, the first question here, it's the square root of x plus the square root of 1 minus x. When we have such questions, a part plus another part, we are going to find the domain for each part alone. No matter it's plus, it's minus, it's divide, it's fraction, it is whatever. Find the domain for the first part, find the domain for the second part. If you have more parts, find the domain for each one separately, and then do this step. The domain for the first part here, the square root of x, the domain is from 0 to infinity because we cannot put negative numbers under square root. So the domain looks like this, from 0 to infinity. And the second part, it's 1 minus x. If we think about this a bit, how can we avoid negative numbers? If we put 2 here, we will have negative number. 2 is not in the domain. If we put 1, we will get 0. 0 is okay under square root. If we put less than 1, like 0 is fine, 1 minus 0 is fine, it's positive. If we put negative numbers, all the negative numbers with this negative under the square root will be positive. So negative numbers, they don't have problem. 1 doesn't have problem. More than 1 has problem. So the domain is from 1 to negative infinity. If we want to read it properly, the domain for the second part is from negative infinity to 1. Now look at these two parts. The common part between them is this much. From 1 to 0. From 1 to 0 is the common part between the first part's domain and the second part's domain. So the domain is only this area. Only this area is the domain for this function. Now let's write the domain properly. The domain is from 0 to 1, and in both sides it's closed. So the domain for f is equal to 0 to 1. The domain is from 0 to 1 because less than 0 is not in the first part and more than 1 is not in the second part. So only this piece is common between them. Thanks for watching.